let me tell you, at the beginning is when the PAC formed, the Physician Assistant Advisory Group formed, is basically, a group of physicians get together and we basically try to help the governor in making decision how to move the island forward. And so they asked me to work with Dr. Mike Cruz to name, give some name for the physician in the community to kind of form an overall a mixture of the small clinic and big clinic. And that way we can all try to make decision together. So, that's, we ask FHP, SDA, AMC, and for small clinic, we have Dr. Galgo, Dr. Mike a pediatrician. We including CDC, Dr. Tain Hancock, and public health, Dr. Manglonia. And we also have the hospital, both for GRMC and GMH in the group, along with a pharmacist. I'm not sure what Jerry's last name is. And also we include the dentist, Dr. Jeff Johnson. So we have and Dr. Yamamoto, Michelle Yamamoto from GRMC, she's infectious disease. And those are a group that we kind of hold together and try to make decision. And those group is strictly volunteer. None of us get paid anything. We basically meet twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday around 5 o'clock. So we basically arrange our clinic schedule and make the effort to meet twice a week and try to guide the governor on how to move things forward. So there's a lot of stuff we get, we put together. We decide that during the meeting that number one, there's we don't take any minutes, because it kind of opened the floor for the physician to really just talk. We just, there's nothing that they have to worry about, because sometimes when you take minutes and they're reluctant to tell what they really think. So we just say that, hey, we are an advisory group, we're strictly volunteer, we don't belong to anybody, so we decide that we just have to talk freely. We don't like to hear, we don't like the people, we just talk freely. So that way it's much more productive for that. And so after every meeting, we all go back to our clinic. The only one that really there a whole lot is Dr. Mike Cruz, which is a state surgeon, and also Dr. Felix Cabrera. I'm not sure what his capacity is at the governor level. So after every meeting, Mike Cruz and Felix take some note on themselves, and they're supposed to pass that decision, those decisions we make as a PAC group up to the governor level the next morning. Okay, that's how things work, right? Because I'm the chair, but I don't have time to go there because I have my own clinic to run, so I just realized on Mike Cruz and Felix to go there and to talk to the governor. A lot of decision she take, just like the guideline that we adopt, the travel quarantine guideline, those stuff that they make. But lately, decision are not made the way that the PAC wanted, especially the latest PCOR1. We actually come up after about 2 or 3 hours meeting, we want PCOR2 with lots of restriction. That's what we want. But, and even when I go on Chris Barnett, I said, we really want PCOR2 with restriction, but she might want to push for PCOR1, so she decided she wanted to go PCOR1, but I say that's against really our decision, so there's a lot of things that in the past few weeks that we don't really know who make the decision, because it's not the PAC, but every time that they're on the news, they say it's the advisory, decision. And I say, what? We all kind of scratch our heads and say, we didn't make those decisions, so Dr. Mike Cruz and Dr. Nathan Berg from GRC, and myself were probably the three senior person there, and we kind of look and say, we didn't make those decisions. You know, like the PCOR1, that's number one. The lockdown of the park and the beach for exercise is not our decision. You know, the mass testing, the public health keep doing is not our decision. You know, because we know there's capacity number there, but you know those are made somewhere after our meeting, and they basically turn the the decision. But wherever they say something, they say it's our decision, which we kind of get yelled at by a lot of people in the community, but it's not us, you know. So, but like I said, when we have a meeting tonight with public health director, and we're going to tell them, really, if the physician advisory group make decision and you go against that, you know, Dr. Michael, Dr. Nathan Berg was telling us what the use of we volunteer our time to meet for. So we're going to confront that. We really want to change it because I think that we make change based on science and data, and we don't make change just say, oh, we just want to do this, you know. So that's something that we're going to have a long meeting tonight. Okay, and you know, a lot of people. Yeah.
Can I
Go
ask?
ahead.
You know, what was the PAG's recommendation with respect to this recent spike?
We want to go to PCOR2 with restriction.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our stand. Is that we don't want to go back to PCOR1 because, like I said, we didn't really follow the guideline. We go so straight from 3 to 1. But like I said, when the governor make a decision, you know, based on what she see or based on she hear a guideline from somewhere else. But the advisory group is PCOR2 with restriction. Okay.
And what kind of restrictions would those have been?
You know, we want to kind of close certain restaurant, okay, that because the spike, what we base on the data. So the data is the restaurant, that's one. We could have like 4 or 5 restaurants break out at the same time, they break the protocol. So you want to kind of shut down the dining restaurant. We want to shut down the gym because we know that where the cluster coming from. You know, so those are 2, and the bar. So those are the main place that we want to shut down because it doesn't mean anything to shut down the place because we really don't have the right decision to shut down everything. So that's our decision on the latest PCOR1 decision. But like I said, we don't know where that coming from. You know, so. You know, but like I say, we just abide by the government what she want to do. Okay, but that's what our PAC recommendation. Okay.
And when we spoke earlier, sir, you were, you know, you had some concerns with how you're going to move forward. You know, can you speak a little bit to that? Like, what would you recommend at this point moving forward?
We have to at this point between public health and the physician advisory group need to communicate a lot better. You know, they cannot make this decision after we meet and then change our decision. It doesn't make sense, you know. And decision make the which is pretty major, like the total lockdown, owner quarantine, for everybody coming in, including people that have a negative PCR pre-arrival. You know, lock down the beach for exercise, lock down the park for exercise. Those decisions never been discussed with us, and they just make them. You know, the decision of public health not testing the close contact like they used to is make before discussed with us because as a clinic, people are so used to now that if you come in contact with someone that positive, you tell me I can't test you, so how am I controlling this virus? You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, we in the middle of pandemic and we restrict our tests. Those decisions make absolutely no sense to us at all. So
when did that
we're going
decision
to
come down, sir? not
They don't
test?
really have an answer. They really don't. You know,
Wow.
they have a capacity of doing 250, 300 tests a day, but they didn't say that to the public. So what's the use to do 1,000 tests a weekend when you can't even run it until a week to 10 days later? You know, that's defeat the purpose of mass testing, because you have a COVID positive patient walk around for the whole week, and
Right.
you lost the opportunity already. That don't make no sense. But then when you put that back to the clinic, patient think that they go to AMC, FHB, SCA, they do the test. That means that the clinic responsible, which is not. It's public health. You know, we just help them implement the test because they need help. But you know, they need to basically go forward with the public, you know, so let public know, because you know at the clinic level we get yelled at every day by people, and the directive come from public health, not from us. We can't do the test if they don't give us the kit. So
Right.
the kit comes from public health.
So has there been then any sort of discussion on how testing needs to be done then? Because I do know that at clinics there have been a number of people who know that they've come and at the very least they've been in proximity or in the same room with someone who was tested positive for COVID-19. And so they were contacted by the establishment, but they weren't necessarily contacted by public health. You know, and I just want to make sure, is that sort of what you're talking about?
Yeah,
When
you know,
talk about
one,
that testing
yeah,
and changing that
yeah,
direction?
that's the stuff where if you have a company that have someone in that company turn positive, or you think you come in close contact with someone, you know, in the past, public health let us test them at day 7, you know, day 5 to day 7. That's where the virus pick up. But now, because whatever decision they make with the restriction, they won't let you do that anymore. You know, but again,
So what are the
that,
guidelines to the clinic?
yes, that's a guidance to a clinic, but they won't tell the public. So now, if you come into my clinic and you say we can't test you, you're going to get mad at the clinic. You think that we refuse to test, but it's not us. We can't test you unless public health give us the test kit, you know. And yesterday when I talked to Dr. Ken Shiro from public health, and they want us to use the Abbott ID, which is a machine that gives to a certain clinic to HSS, and that's a point of care. And they want us to use that machine to run. I say, no, you don't understand. The point of care means that if you're sick, I would test you because I want to catch you right away. If you have a close contact with someone, that's not the purpose of the machine. You know, and that agreed by Dr. Tan Hancock at CDC that that machine used for sick visit. Someone actually have symptoms, we want
Someone
to
who's coming
catch
to
them.
you with symptoms.
Yes, and that machine is free, and we'd be glad to use that, but we're not using that for close contact. So whoever public health here have no understanding of the concept of the Abbott machine, you know.
Wow.
So those are stuff that they have to listen to physician, because they are admit or they are dentists. They are not physician. So, you know, they got to learn how to listen to physician, because we are the front line. You know, if they sit at the desk, they don't have no idea what's going on out there. So that's a challenge that we're going to have. Like I said, we're going to talk to public health director tonight, and we got to make sure that whatever direction they do, directive, they got to pass through a, a group of physicians that make decision, and not bypass us and make decisions that absolutely make no sense. You know, so it's kind of frustrating. You know, at a certain point. Um, so, like I said, let's see how the meeting is going on tonight. And I said we're gonna. That's the first time, because of all the decision to make the past week, that really pushed the physician advisory group to a point where we say, hey, what's going on here? You know, we're taking 5 for you guys. I can't defend you if I have no idea what's coming. You know, so that's something that we come to a point where it's important to listen to the physician rather than have someone make the decision for the community by sitting behind the desk. It doesn't make sense, so um, a certain group, but you have to understand, right? All the clinic and everyone that sit on the pad, we don't get paid. You have to know that, and you can do all the Sunshine Act in the world if anyone want. And Dr. Tom Shea had been doing that for a long time now, and he finds zero. We don't even get pay one single penny since March, of this year, and especially the tier 2 clinic, them including SDA and FHP and AMC, we've been volunteer our service and see all the sick patients that come through our front door with absolutely zero pay. You walk in, doesn't matter what service given to you. You walk out, and people say, "Do we pay?" Say, "No, it's free." That's the service we give to community, and we didn't ask for anything. We submit some reimbursement so that way they don't go negative. But so far, we got paid zero. FHP had to let go two of the physician and some nursing staff. SDA do the same. We all go negative despite what people say and get reimbursed zero. Everyone in the world get paid except the front line. Do we stop doing the care for our people in Guam? No, we don't. We open to everybody. If the patient can willing to wait for us to see them, we see them until the door is closed. So I'm not, I think when you do so much stuff, people will question, are you guys doing for free or something behind it? And I think that's where the evil way to look at it. If you try to do something good and people are asking you, oh, you must do for a purpose. It doesn't make no sense. So I don't know. When I think that Dr. Mary Lou Dulé read that article, she called me last night, and she would say, you got to speak up somehow, because like I say, they lay people off, just because you can't afford. You have a restaurant that you go eat for free all the time. You don't think you can afford that very much. You go break sometime, but we're still willing to do what we do because that's what big clinic is for. The little clinic, they send the sick patient to us because we understand where to do that because they don't have the PPE, they don't have the manpower nor protection to protect their staff. So the big clinic, we stand up just because we have the ability to do that. We don't mind, but like I say, sometimes when you do so much, people will question what your motive doing that. And I tell you, just like I talked to Shiraf from the speaker office, say that, we offer you money, well, you didn't take them. I said, well, because, the money is not important right now. The help with people in Guam is more important. And, the money come later if it comes. If it doesn't come, then we did the work already. It doesn't matter, so, but I just want you to know that, you can do all the free Sunshine Act to find out, where you find out it's will be zero. I'm confident in that because we haven't seen anything, and so does my counterpart SDA and FHP.
Sir, so can you said you guys are meeting tonight, the PAG. Can you tell me, what your recommendations are going to be to the governor? I mean, I know you spoke about improving transparency and letting the community know about where they are with testing, where, and the directives that are being given to the clinic. But can you speak to, sort of your recommendations as we move forward in this pandemic?
Yeah, number one is transparency. Public gotta know. They gotta know the truth. Just like I call Chamber of Commerce, I tell them we don't have 85 unit bed for the COVID. We don't. We have like 25. But under CDC letter to the letter from the governor to CDC, they say they have 85 unit, and we don't have 85 unit. And we don't have. We have 75 ventilator, we can run 75 ventilators. We can run 15. So when you put those things out and not be transparent public, they're going to question you why you doing PCOR1. You know, you're on PCOR1 because you are pushing your limits. You know, so the 85 bed become 25 bed COVID bed. From 75 ventilator, we can use 15. So those are big change, a big real number. You know, they need to be transparent on the testing. If the public health can do 250 to 300 tests a day, you have to let public know. You can't test 1,400 tests. What's the use? That's a very poor planning. You know, if you're gonna change the guideline for testing, let the public know. Don't tell the clinic you have to have a pre-authorization for number of test kits before we can give to you. You know, that really don't make sense. You know, if you're going to implement any type of guideline, like quarantine guideline, let the people know. Let us know first, because let us help you make a decision and not let one or two person make decision. We have 20 physicians. Come on, you know, so discuss with us, because you put a new guideline, we lock everyone up in the hotel for 14 days. Doesn't matter if you have PCR pre-arrival or not. Let us know. You know, if you got just like the case of the person to come back to funeral. You know, we recommend them to test for 7 days and let the guy go to his funeral for his brother. They didn't listen. But the PAC decision is testing for 7 days and let him go to a funeral. Because if you don't catch the 7 days, then there's nothing there. You know, that's based on data and not just because you scare or whatever. You know, so those, you have to respect the physician advisory group. That's the meaning why, that's why we're there, right? If not, then we are volunteer. I cancel my clinic. Everyone, a physician cancel their clinic. They spend, you know, 4, 5, 6 hours a week meeting on site, on Zoom, do the reading. What are we doing that for? You know, like I said, this is strictly volunteer. We do that because we love the people here. We want to make the right decision. So talk to us. So if you're going to make a decision, then go outside that. Then when you go to public, do not say it's a physician advisory group decision. Because at the bottom line is the business people will yell at us, everybody yell at us. And we say, we have no idea.
Well, speaking of yelling, I know that there's been a lot of sort of controversy around this sort of this current lockdown and the closure of the beaches and parks to exercising, even as a solo person. Can you speak to that as a physician?
Oh, you know, as a physician, yeah, as a physician, I always tell my patient, exercise, fresh air is the key. I'm telling you, it's healthy for the mind, mentally, psychologically, and physically. There's nothing, even in the literature, show that during this time, people need to exercise. People need some fresh air. You can't tell people they can't go to the beach and exercise or can't go to parks and exercise. Every time I pass my ass on the last PCOR1, I see a lot of cars, a lot of people exercise. That's the happiness of seeing people exercise. That's what I want all the patients to do. But to tell them to stay home and not be able to exercise by themselves, it doesn't make any sense. And none of them can answer except, oh, we want them to stay home. And I tell you, that is not based on science. That's based on what you want people to do. And that doesn't make sense. You know, I mean, we are stressed over the past 6 months already. And now you're going to stress them more by telling them stay home, you can't exercise. You know, we have diabetes, cholesterol, high blood pressure in Guam, and you tell people stay home. They're going to eat, they're going to get fat, they're going to get all kinds of disease, and it'll get worse. It doesn't make no sense. You know, it really don't make no sense. So yes, your question and the answer is we don't agree with that. It's not based on anything except that based on what you want. So I run in the morning. I keep looking for a red, blue light somewhere that arrests me. I say, well, I run every morning. So I said, well, you can arrest me, but you want, but that's my sanity. I get up, I exercise, I get my energy if I go see my patient, and so I didn't see any blue light yet, but I'm sure they see me running. They probably have a blue light somewhere. So you can exercise.
Okay, sir. So can I ask you just for some closing remarks, and maybe we'll catch up again tomorrow morning if you have time, just to kind of follow up on the meeting tonight.
Yeah. So what we do is that we really the main goal tonight is to establish a very clear communication line within public health, the physician advisory group, the business people like the Chamber of Commerce. We have another group together that I chair that too with the business people. The three groups have to work together. Now, this is the health issue and also economy issue. We get killed either way. So we don't talk within public health, the physician advisory with the PAC, and the TAC is basically the name for the business group that I chair. So the three groups have to be very clearly communicate together. Can't happen by just one person make decision and that affect all of us. It cannot. So there should be a very clear communication within the three group in order to move us forward. Because we need to get out of the PCOR1 very, very soon. We're going to be in deep trouble. So that's the.
Sorry, when you say we're going to be in deep trouble if we don't get out of PCOR1 soon, can you just sort of expound on that?
I mean, people at home, they stay at home, they suffer a lot of psychological, a lot of abuse, a lot of stress. I see people that come in and so stressed, they are 2-3 months behind their payment. They live by paycheck by paycheck. They can't afford this anymore. At a certain point, we have to somehow work together to help those little people. The people that make all the decision, what we think about, number one, they don't have to worry about paycheck. They don't have a job. Okay. Dr. Akimoto is very correct when he gets mad and say, we have 30,000, 40,000 unemployed people when a certain small section of our population, which the government worker actually don't have to worry at all because they have paycheck come in all the time. But what happened to 30,000, 40,000 unemployed people that's out there? So we have to talk within the business, the physician, and public health. We have to be at the same level and make decisions, and not based on just 1 or 2 people opinion, because my decision might not be correct, but the group will win, right? If the majority make a decision, doesn't matter I like or not, it's a group effort. So it's not just one person that say, hey, I want to do this and you have to do it. It doesn't make a difference. So communication is a big key.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming and speaking to us today.
You're welcome, Maria. Okay, I hope I clarified a lot of stuff, and
yes,
just be safe, and we continue to do what we do. Our mission stays the same as all the clinic. We make sure that all the people in Guam taken care of. Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you again.
You have a good afternoon. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.